As one of the prime movers in Davao region, the University of the Immaculate Conception takes pride in providing excellent educational experiences. Inspired by its quality policy, transformative Ignasan Marian education prepares students to become global citizens that can transcend beyond borders. This knowledge is translated across all curricular and extracurricular activities. When COVID-19 was declared a global pandemic by the World Health Organization on March 11, 2020, we were left with no choice except to embrace the new normal by establishing preventive measure, especially the physical distancing. This has brought school to adapt blended learning and/or distance learning. University of the Immaculate Conception revamped its existing information technology resources to be responsive to the call of times, while leaving the once lively corners of school buildings empty. Information technology is one best ways for the schools to continue its mission. Education units and programs in the university have prepared course packs and online-based resources for offline and online learners. The flexibility of these materials allow self-paced learning, which emphasizes on individual growth. Physical education, being a subject in the curriculum, mainly focuses on the body and employs a holistic approach in introducing health and fitness concepts. The physical and health activities prepared for the students are inspired and contextualized by the local practices, traditions, and culture. From nutrition to sports, dances, and traditional games, these activities are hoped to provide an avenue where students can stay grounded on their routes while achieving the intended outcomes for the course offering, which is developing a habit of physical activity. The distance education concept utilized in the university is aligned with the constructivist theory identified in the RVM philosophy and pedagogy. As described in the philosophy, constructivist theory favors a dynamic learning process that encourages learners to interact, share, collaborate and construct ideas. However, utilizing constructivist pedagogy in real life is difficult, particularly in the 21st century and during this time of pandemic. Therefore, UIC identified a theory that provides idea on how to organize distance learning and/or distance education in a more practical way. To be more relevant, the constructivist theory was coupled with Moore's theory on transactional distance, which provides concrete idea on how to apply theory into practice. Moore pointed out three important areas to make up distance education: dialogue, structure and learner autonomy. He stressed that having enough constructive dialogue, flexible structure catering individuals and a high level of learner autonomy to execute learning, distance and distance education can be reduced. In his theory, Moore emphasized on the importance of pedagogy and technologies. He recognized how technology changes have influenced the way distance education has been for the better. However, according to Moore, technology is not the only factor that makes distance education more effective. The following objectives are translated from the above theory, enabling the efforts for making this online resources responsive and cohesive to that of the ASEAN Trust for this year. The open education resources are aimed to 1. Promote physical activity amidst the limitations brought by COVID-19 pandemic. 2. Display ideas on how simple games can integrate history, culture and Filipino traditions. 3. Appreciate the relatedness of fun and games with members of ASEAN countries. Compelled to respond to the demands of blended and distance learning, the university subscribed to a learning management system. Capability enhancement of teachers in using the system was intensified. Physical education teachers found ways to create online resources to continue delivering the subject matter for distant learners. They returned to their chairs and manned the instructions remotely. As the old adage says, if there is a will, there is a way. Maximizing our learning management system is our best way. The instructional design was crafted to respond to students with or without an internet connection. Students without an internet connection will be given a course pack to engage in self-paced activities and produce evidence of their learning or physical activity engagement. For students with an internet connection, a unified internet site was made for all students to browse, interact with their instructors, and submit evidence of learning in varied formats, videos or documents. The learning management system that the university subscribed was maximized for the delivery and assessment management in physical education classes. The maximization of the interface creates more opportunities for students to show themselves performing the learning tasks, interact with their instructor and other classmates. The learning management system interface provides opportunities for teachers to collate relevant and reliable information meant to augment students' understanding of fitness, health, wellness, recreational and traditional games. We implement instructional supervision to our students by using the Google Suite application, specifically Google Classroom, Google Meet and Google Site. These three software applications became our platform to deliver the instruction for physical education.
For this week, the activity there's also one that I'd like you to engage with. Ito, activity bingo.
One of the missions of University of the Immaculate Conception is to promote and strengthen our Filipino culture and values. Physical Education Unit of the university embody this mission by using Filipino traditional games as the subject matter in physical education towards fitness course. Traditional Filipino games or indigenous games in the Philippines are games commonly played by children, usually using native materials or instruments. In the Philippines, due to limited resources of toys for Filipino children, they usually invent games without the need of anything but the players themselves. Their game's complexity arises from their flexibility to think and act. The Filipino games bring good memories of friendship and fun among those who have played it. It brings a smile among our elders whenever they remember the days when they used to play it. It brings out the child among our parents when they mention it, and vividly remembering their childhood playmates and the neighborhood where they used to play it. It actually every adult's wish for the new generation of Filipino to experience the fun of the traditional street games. Nowadays, most of the traditional games are being abandoned by the children of this modern generation as the gadgets are more attractive for them. However, some of the children who live in rural areas are still interested to play the traditional games. There is no doubt that playing traditional games has its own benefits to the players.
Hello teachers and my fellow friends from University of the Immaculate Conception. My name is Azlimin Abdul Salih, a Bachelor of Physical Education from School of Education and Social Sciences of Management and Science University, Malaysia. Hello guys! Hello everyone, mabuhay. Kumusta po kayo? So, I am Muhammad Iqbal Khalif Bilatrasa from the School of Education and Social Science in MSU. I would like hereby to greet to all of my College of Teacher Educations, lecturers and teachers from the University of Immaculate Conception. So hereby, I would like to present to you about one of our traditional games, which include physical activities, which is one of them called the lompat getah. So basically, what is lompat getah? Lompat getah is actually more to like a skipping row, skip row. But these ones, they use it in the old days. They use it with rubber bands to do the skippings. So the game requires for 3 persons. 2 persons will do handling the skipping, while the other one will skips back and forth. So this game is actually highlighted during the for children in the old days. So this activity of the game will include a lot more of energy uses up, and it takes around like about how many minutes to win the game. but for this activity, it's also more like exercising your own physical legs, where you jump and skip and jump back and forth. So this game is actually pretty common around these days, but it's hardly ever been practiced by as the time goes by. So, but this game was once used to be a great game, one of it, and it is very highly popularized in the old generations. So as we can see now, actually, but this game is still also ongoing. Is still only like we did more like in using a modernized skipping rope. So we use it, but during the old days, it's considered a traditional times where the game was like presented in a very unique way by using rubber bands to do the game. So for this one, it is very I think for me as a clearly of a review of using a skipping game, the skipping rope, using a physical activity to exercise the body with using a rubber band. It is quite great, and it is a very one of unique method by using a rubber band, because like for me, I haven't seen to myself yet using in a rubber band, but for me, like watching some of the videos in YouTube and everything, the game considered like using a rubber band was a very good thing for like me, just a good set of learning experience for me, because like in the old days we're using the old methods, and as in the modern days we're using just only a pair of rope to do the skipping rope. So for me, combining a traditional method into doing the physical activities, it's quite a very good set of arts, because you're doing some part of it arts, and plus you're doing some physical activities as well. So for me, this is one of a good way to show to a cultural to the others. For some other countries, like apart from the Philippines, we have Indonesia, also we have Thailand, cultural games, and Singapore, and so many other countries more. So it's a great way to actually exchange our to show our traditional games, cultural games to the world, the organization. So from here on out, I am signing out. So this is all about I can tell about the games. Thank you for having me.
Warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. Magandang umaga po, magandang tanghali po, magandang hapon po, magandang gabi po, wherever you are. Hello, I'm Hendrik Kurniadi and I'm from University of PGRI Yogyakarta, Indonesia. Here, I would like to greet all of my friends from Philippines and all of the professors of the UIC, University of Immaculate Conception, and College of the Teacher Education. Okay, when I was young, I always played traditional games, and we have many traditional games. One of them is Engklek. Engklek. This game is known by different names in each region. Engklek itself comes from the Japanese language. In Betawi, they call the game is Dampu Bulan, and also my village we call different name. We call Main Popun, as well as many others named by this game. The origin of this game is from Dutch, and the Dutch they call Zondag Mandag, and also from the British they call hopscotch. It's very difficult to call by British. Okay, and then Engklek is played game by only utilizing in the flat area, which is drawn by squares with a certain pattern using a chalk, using chalk, and also a gacho. This is gacho. This is very simple. It's gacho, and in the form of the thin slab, which can made of broken ceramic or flat stone. This game can be played by both men and women, individually or groups. Several kinds of anklet game. The pattern are in the form of plains, and the form of mountain or propellers. But in our village, we always use the form like this. Yeah, this is a very simple form from our village. Yeah, in Kopun there are 12 box. Yeah, and from the left there are 6 box, and from the right there are 6 box. Yeah. In general, how to play the anklet game is by jumping on one foot on the box. Yeah, you can jump by like this box that have been made. However, for boxes that are located next to each other, such as all wings, yeah, the player does need to jump on one leg, but instead place his foot on the 2 boxes simultaneously. The jumps are made in spines starting from the box close to the player to the last book. Initially, the player will make sweeps, like this or like this or like this. Yeah, they should sweep first. Yeah, they should sweep, and the player who takes the first turn will throw the gacho. Yeah, who is the winner after this they sweep. The players should throw the gacho, yeah, like this trick. Take here, yeah. They should throw the gacho for the first box, yeah, for the first box, yeah. And if the gacho that is thrown must be right, yeah. Of course, the gacho should be right position. For example, like this. The right position is like this here. They should stand here. If the gacho after throw here, this is not good. Yeah. Of course they will lose. Yeah. Not outside the box. Yeah. Of course they throw the gacho here, not outside the box. Yeah. Or hitting the outline, and also hitting the outline here is not acceptable too. Yeah. If this happens, it will be replaced by the next player. The player then makes a jump with one. If this happens, it will be replaced by the player put on the box. But keep in mind, for books with gacho shouldn't be stepped. Yeah, if the
Good day everyone, especially to the UIC College Teacher Education Professors. It's been a while, and living in abroad made me miss COVID so much, especially when I look back and think of my younger years, where I will just play these games like Chinese Quarter and Tag Game. Those games were really fun and physically engaging, and actually sometimes people may not think of it, but it is a way of exercising already. Aside from that, it also promotes culture and it shows our traditions as Filipinos. And especially in this modern world today, it's not just in Philippines that younger kids are being physically active, but also here in Thailand and in other countries. And we teachers, especially Filipino teachers, we use our traditional games to creatively present our discussions when we are teaching here. And I believe that we should really keep our traditional games alive and introduce it especially to the new generations because it creates linkages and also it promotes a healthy and active lifestyle where you can just have fun and also you're being physically active already. So that's it. I am Carl Hevin Cañete, a graduate of Bachelor of Physical Education, major in School Physical Education, and currently teaching as a physical education teacher here at Pan Asian International School in Bangkok, Thailand. Good day, everyone, especially.
RendsburgEnterprises.com.
Third. Sa'yo mo punit sa lata.
Mundur. Bola jangan, Lur. Lurus. Oke. Dadah.
Ada bapak.
10 teens and a ball and at least around 4 more friends. So and for this game, for now we'll use cans for demonstrating purposes. So the first thing you need to do is split the people into 2 teams.
Four, five, six, seven, eight, nine, 10 naman! Nine, wala, 9. 'Yan!
salah. Dulu waktu kecil saya main ini juga nih. Ternyata di sekolah sekarang anak saya juga ada. Pas mainnya mereka di permanen, pakai cat warna-warni. Jadi cukup ya. Mereka polos banget mainnya. Pakai sepatu, mereka pakai setengah sepatu.
Next level. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Perfect.
The Google site interface is shown here. Physical education teachers decided to use this platform for reference of the topics and task to be done. In this site, the objectives and content of the lessons are displayed along with the task to be completed. The site displayed the teacher's profile and relevant information regarding the subject. In addition, a page allotted for ASEAN community is also highlighted, with the intention to connect to ASEAN community, promoting awareness and foster ASEAN spirit. This is the interface of the Google Classroom. The features that it contains allow us to inform, assign task, monitor students' submissions and directly comment or assign score to their respective work. The Classroom feature allows you to post learning materials in an organized manner. Whenever you post something, the students are directly notified. There are varied ways to use just to get the learning environment the same as with the face-to-face interaction. Documents, video, pictures can be displayed here as their learning materials or supplementary materials for learning. It is always rewarding to know that they are doing also their part. They may have encountered some challenges as regard the teaching and learning task, but you know that they want to learn and try their best and do their part and be responsible of their learning. From the output they put up, you can tell that they found a way to show their willingness to perform the tasks at hand. Physical education need to be acted upon by moving. Even with the limitations they encounter, they made their way and show evidences of their physical activity.
Bye.